So why I started by sharing that when I started learning accountancy, there was no Excel, there was no Access, things were very basic those days. And just not to basically, I'm only 53 years old, still very young, I suppose. In fact, I can join you guys, right? But it provided me with a fairly good opportunity to live along times when a handphone evolved from one big my friend used to have handphone, and when he walked into a bank, he was stopped by the guard because they thought it was a gun. It evolved from there until what we have today. So if you project the future, I think technology will continue to change. But if I reflect to the time where I started learning accountancy to where I am today, and if you project the evolution of technology, how things are done differently now compared to how it was done before, you still have accountants in organization. So while people talk about blockchain and all this sophisticated stuff, I still believe that there are roles where humans can perform certain functions more effectively than machine, and I think that is very important. That you have to continuously reposition yourself based on the changing landscape. I think that is given. But if you were required to be honest, or if I were required to be honest 30 years ago, I'm still required to be honest today. And to the future, that expectation that an accountant is objective, independent, act honestly, having integrity will remain. And throughout my career, because I evolved from a market player into a regulatory sphere, and now I'm being regulated again, I can honestly tell you that integrity is highly important in all the dealings, all the roles that you play. Especially nowadays when you talk about fair value accounting. What is fair value accounting? It's about imagining the future and then trying to bring those features into numbers that people transact today. There's a lot of assumptions, there's a lot of projections, there's a lot of unknowns that you have to take into consideration in coming up with a number. And all these things requires you to be honest in terms of facts, in terms of data, and in terms of how you summarize your data. Just to give a very simple experience, the discount rate, the one that AOB always captures, auditor not doing their work properly. How few basis points of the discount rate can turn something from good to bad? And how do you decide that? Only God knows. But being a professional, you'll do your best to get what you think is right. And that's why to me, despite all the sophistication in where the world is now, of course you must be smart. You should be able to understand what's going on. Now I sit on the board of a bank. Now from March, I chair the risk committee, and risk is about looking forward, looking at all sort of things that may not be pleasant happening, and how do you mitigate that from credit, operation, reputation, and all sort of things. And when you look at this, the essence is all about integrity. So to me, while the sophistication will continue to evolve, you have to re-equip yourself with tools and knowledge that meet the expectation of the future, but the essence of a professional remains the integrity, honesty, and the ability to share your viewpoint without fear of favor. And I've seen enough experiences in my tenfold as well. I had the opportunity to interview Andrew Festo, the CFO of Telekom. He was here, and for those who had attended his talk, he always bring that the award, the CFO of the Year award, and his prison card. And he said, I got both for the same transaction. You know, because of the transaction that he did, he get the CFO of the Year award, but that same transaction landed him in jail. Of course, in public he didn't share that, you know, the wife was basically jailed for him, so that he eventually confessed, and he went for plea bargain and went to jail. So that's the US system. But the fact remains that, you know, you can be as sophisticated as you are, but the essence remains unchanged. And today, as we are speaking, in the corporate world, if you are known to be competent and honest, you can walk into any organization, you will always be well. That is how integrity now becomes an asset to anyone. And I think without that, you are not an accountant. To me, the difference between a professional accountant and the person on the street is the professional accountant, in addition to the knowledge, skills, competency that you have, you also live with your professional values. And in many circumstances, you may be making wrong decisions, your judgment may not be correct, but because of your professionalism, you will be safe. I can tell you from a former regulator, former practitioner, I did so many mistakes in my life. But because I think it was done honestly, professionally, and the outcome was not as bad. And you learn from the mistake, you try to improve yourselves. So I think in essence, the point that I want to share is the world will continue to change. The expectation in terms of skills, knowledge will continue to shift. But the essence of being professional will remain. The core values that you are supposed to uphold, professionally, the integrity, objectivity, or whatever that you have in your, those are really important, because without that you are not a professional.
Thank you, Tuan Nik. Talking about integrity, we have Dr. Nizam of Integrity of Malaysia. Give him a big round of applause, please.
You know me.